Hello and welcome to the Redmen TV. It is the Starting 11 prediction show and it's live on YouTube at nearly 20 past 10 in the morning. It's ahead of the Genk game in the Champions League. We are away. We've got Sai over there. He'll be the man on the ground for the Redmen TV while we do our live show in Liverpool from Ashcroft Bar and Social on Victoria Street. If you want to get tickets to that, we'll put the link in the description. It's just £5 and all 5 of those lovely English pounds will go to the Food Banks charity. If you're a Redmen TV subscriber on the website, then you do get your tickets for free. But please do come down, watch the game with us, watch a couple of little live shows and have a little sing-song as well. We've got a musician coming in to sing all of your favourites. Liverpool versus Genk tomorrow night. Ashcroft Social in Liverpool. But regardless, I am here to try and decipher and try and pick the side that Jurgen Klopp will pick to face Genk in this Champions League game. It's a big game and it's a big series of games really against Genk, isn't it? We've got them back-to-back in the Champions League and I think we need to get 6 points to make sure that we're in a good position heading into the last 2 games to qualify for the knockout stage of the Champions League. That being said, I also recognise that Liverpool have probably got quite a lot of games coming up. I say probably. We've got quite a lot of tough games coming up and we also need to rest and rotate during this period of games. Will Klopp do it in this game? I think it's the right call to make some changes. So the side that I put up, it's probably not going to be right. I mean, it never is, let's be honest. But I've got some other players and stuff that we can discuss and we'll be in the live comments after the fact. So if you've got any ideas, please do leave your thoughts in the comments section as well. In goal, I don't think there's any doubt that it probably will just be Alisson. That being said, I'll probably get it wrong straight away and he'll probably rest him after 1 game. I'm going to throw a curveball in at left back in this game. I'm going to say that James Milner starts at left back because I was talking on the build-up show and I'll maybe expand on a few of these points is I just don't see where Robbo and Trent get rested if they're not going to get rested in this game. I mean, they're so important to how we play football. Every Liverpool fan knows this. I'm not telling you anything new here. But maybe you've not considered who's going to play for them. Is Joe Gomez going to come in and play for Trent? Can you really change both of them at the same time? I'm going to go with James Milner here. If Virgil van Dijk will play, I'm then going to say Matip was a bit of a late fitness test. I say late fitness test. He was ready. Will he be able to play 3 games in a week? I'm not 100% sure. So I'm going to say that Joe Gomez starts alongside Virgil van Dijk in this game. And rounding off the back 5, I'm going to say it's going to be Trent Alexander-Arnold there. So I think, you know what, if I'm going to get one part of the team right, maybe it's this one. Will he play Robertson? Look, he could do. He might do. He probably will do. But I just feel like with James Milner not going on international duty, not having any involvement in the Manchester United game, he's either going to play at left back or he's going to play in midfield in this game. Somewhere along the way, James Milner's going to feature from the start. I'm then going to say that Fabinho sits in as the DM again. We all know exactly how good he is. Didn't have his best game against Manchester United, admittedly, but he's still crucial to how we play football. And then I'm going to say that Naby Keita is going to play on the left side. I think he came on, and a lot's been made about his performance, really, hasn't it? He came on in about the 82nd minute, and he was absolutely superb in the game. You know, pivotal to how Liverpool scored their goal as well. And then alongside him, I'm going to say that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain comes in as well. Now, again, we'll discuss players like Adam Lallana because he was the first substitute. He was the substitute, was he, that came on first. And so maybe he feels that Adam Lallana's ahead of Keita or Oxlade-Chamberlain in the pecking order. But I've gone with that for now. I'm going to say Divock Origi plays that left wing position once again. I'm going to say Sadio Mane plays the right wing position. And I'm going to say that Bobby plays that number 9. Now, I've set it up as a 4-3-3. There is the opportunity, of course, to play the 4-2-3-1 that we finished against Manchester United. We looked strong and we looked good and it looked to suit our players who were on the pitch at the time. So let's have a little look at how that maybe would look. We know that Fabinho was one of those 2 midfielders. We know that Naby Keita was one of those 2 midfielders as well. Now, could you play Bobby in the 10? Divock up top? Ox coming from that left-hand side again. That looks like it could be a decent way of getting at Genk in this game. I'll get into some of the comments in a minute. We've also got a few other players here. The big omission, I suppose, would be Mohamed Salah. He is probably 50% to be involved in this game. 50% is nowhere near good enough for me personally, but I think if he plays, he's either in that number 9 slot or he's playing from the right-hand side. Tom, if you see any comments and you just want to shout them out, mate, you just go for it, by the way.
Yeah, let's kick it off. Gerson the person just says Keita and Lallana should play. I'm guessing that's after United performance.
Yeah, Adam Lallana, yeah. I mean, he came on, he obviously scored the goal, didn't he? Where would he fit in this situation? Is he on the wing, do you think, he'd play in this position? I mean, he came on and he played the right wing, didn't he? So maybe there's an opportunity for something like that. With Mane in the 9 and Lallana on the right-hand side. I think there's a lot of people fuming when Adam Lallana came on at the weekend against Manchester United, but he come in and he had a good game and he played well and he obviously gets the goal and he's probably proved a few doubters wrong once again, which is what he does. I think there's another couple of players that we need to talk about. I mean, we're probably going to need to talk about Gini Wijnaldum at some point and Jordan Henderson. They obviously, I think, 60-odd minutes, 71 minutes maybe, and probably 80 minutes, was it something like that for Gini Wijnaldum? Will they play 3 games in a week? Does anybody in the comments think they'll do that? I'm not 100% sure they will. I think it's probably time to give those boys a little bit of a rest, to be honest with you.
We'll move it towards the defence, sort of. Okay. Khaled says Lovren coming on from the bench for Trent and put Gomez at right back. So Gomez right back, Lovren in instead of Gomez.
Yeah, I've not got Lovren here. 1 second, boys.
Just there you go. Get Harvey Elliott as well.
Get Harvey Elliott?
Someone saying, Steve says Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott's easier to find. Right. So, you're liking the looks of Lovren at centre-half and Gomez. Now, I suppose that's a good way of getting Trent off. I'd guess, though, that if that's going to happen, Robertson probably plays at left back. I just don't see us changing both full-backs at the same time, personally. You might disagree with me on that one, but I'm thinking that could be a way of doing it. I'm actually kind of liking the 4-2-3-1 here, Tom, you know. I think it might suit the players a little bit better, mightn't it, that we've got, like, up top and stuff.
I was about to say I like the 4-4-4 that you had.
Yeah, I mean, extra players is always a bonus, isn't it, to be honest with you? I think everybody knows, and I've just flicked on my phone and seen a comment there, that really Mane's best position is on this left-hand side, isn't it? Now, if we're to play a 4-3-3, again, maybe it's Origi's the sticking point for me with Mane on the left-hand side, because we just have never seen Origi anywhere but the 9 or the left-hand side for such a long time under Jurgen, that it means that if Origi plays, it's either... Well, we don't see Bobby on the right very often. Bobby goes to the left normally, doesn't he, if he's on there? So, I do think that Origi will start. I think, you know, he deserves his place in this side if Salah, of course, isn't going to be able to feature. So, again, I'm going to go back to Origi on that left-hand side. Have we got any more players that people have named? Someone named Harvey Elliott, did they?
Yeah, well, there's a few players that they want to see in for Salah. Harvey Elliott was one of them. But then there was a comment just then saying Gini Wijnaldum or Oxlade-Chamberlain should go on that wing instead of Divock Origi.
I can certainly see Oxlade-Chamberlain, I can certainly see Naby Keita. Personally, I probably couldn't see Gini Wijnaldum because it's just been so long. I mean, he's done it for a few minutes here and there, but certainly Ox could play over on that left-hand side, I agree with that. And Naby Keita, last season, we saw a lot of him on that left-hand side as well. It's such a tough one, isn't it? Because we're so easy to... Well, I'll talk for myself here. It seemed very easy to throw the baby out the bathwater. We had 1 draw away at Old Trafford after winning 17 games on the bounce in the Premier League, and all of a sudden it feels like the world's falling in on us, and it's not. And it might just be that Jurgen just goes with the tried and trusted, and he doesn't rest any players. Maybe he's looking at Tottenham Hotspur and thinking, if we're going to rest players, it's Tottenham, to be honest with you. So we've got Wijnaldum, where's Endo? There. I mean, if I was a betting man and I was going to pick between what I sort of said at the start of this versus what I think you're going to win money on, that's probably what you're going to win money on, if anything. I don't think of all the variations we've done so far today that any of them were probably closer to being right than maybe this. And I think that's the tough thing, isn't it? I mean, Jurgen will probably know how important this game is. He'll know that we need to get 6 points on the board. We can't be taking Genk or our eye off the ball with regards to Genk, because we've just seen, you know, Napoli went there and got a 0-0 draw, and Napoli are a side that have already beaten us this season in the Champions League. So they're not to be taken lightly in any way, shape or form. And as such, maybe Klopp does just play this side, and maybe you bring the introduction of Naby in for Origi if you want, or Oxlade-Chamberlain. I'd love personally to see a little bit more of Naby and a little bit more of Ox, because I think that they changed the way that Liverpool play, and I think it's not so easy. And not that it is easy, actually, I'll take that back. Manchester United did a very good defensive job first half against us to close the space down for the likes of Andy Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Jurgen changed at half time. They didn't have a shot on target in the second half, and Liverpool were wave after wave of attacks. And it looked to me like if there was going to be a winner after our equaliser, it was going to be Liverpool Football Club. So it's not easy to stop us. But it's another string to the bow, I think, when you've got a midfielder like a Keita or something who just changes how we play slightly. Tom, have you got any more for me, mate?
Yeah, just quickly, blue super chat from AJ, thank you. No
Thank you.
comment with that. But Rowan Galloway says, so annoying that Shaq is injured, perfect game for him.
Yeah, it's that little tear in a big muscle of Shaq's, isn't it? It's a calf tear, I believe. So he was rumoured to be available at the weekend. He wasn't involved in the squad in any way, shape or form. If he is to be involved, he's probably not going to be, well, it's definitely not going to be starting in this game. You would guess that his first involvement would be as a substitute coming into game. It seems like a little while now since we've seen Shaqiri. It's going to take some time to build up his match fitness and stuff as well. But, you know, Klopp still thinks the world of him, I believe. And hopefully we can put this little tear behind us and we can move on, and he can become a little bit more of a factor when the games really do ramp up around the Christmas period and stuff like that. So have we got any more, mate?
Yeah, Antio Chill says, we should start easing Brewster into this team. The more depth, the better we are. And someone actually speaks about J10, says, with Salah injured, just shows our lack of depth on the wide positions. Klopp should have kept Wilson if he wasn't interested in buying anyone.
It's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, the Wilson thing, yeah, I'd kind of forgotten all about it, to be honest with you, but you see him doing so well on loan, and you do think, I wonder what he could have done, whether he's close enough. You know, we obviously didn't think that Shaqiri was going to be injured at the same time as Salah, and Ox and Keita weren't going to be fully ready to get minutes under their belt and get full games, and, you know, he's got a lot of trust in Origi, and I think that was born out of his performances last season. But I think you're right. I think if Liverpool do have a weakness in this squad, it probably is backups for the front three, and maybe Wilson would have been able to come in and do something. The Brewster thing I think is really interesting. I don't know whether he'll be involved in the squad at all against Genk, but you know, we've heard that Klopp likes him. We know that Klopp likes him. He trains with the first team a lot, and I wonder whether we'll see him more towards the back end of the season. He had a long injury as well. It's going to take him time. He was out for, I believe, longer than Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. We can see how long it's taken him. So maybe the best thing for Brewster right now is just to build that match fitness back up in the under-23s and just get games where he can, rather than coming along and sitting on the bench in Premier League games or Champions League games, and the travel that is obviously involved as well. So I'd be surprised if Brewster was involved personally.
Well, on Brewster, John Smith says, give the young lads a bash v Genk. There's been a lot of comments about Curtis Jones. Obviously, we heard about Harvey Elliott. What are your thoughts in terms of Klopp playing the youth?
I don't think it's going to happen, if I'm honest. And I think, again, for the reasons that I've kind of mentioned already, to be honest, mate, I think personally, I think the Klopp will take this game very seriously. And, you know, I put a rotated squad out. Maybe we'll go back to how I thought Liverpool might line up in this game. And I think I had Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain in there, didn't I? And while I answer this question, I know I had Naby Keita over here. And then I think I had Gomez, didn't I? Let's see. Where's James Milner? Come on, Jimbo. No Salah, no Lallana. Definitely didn't use him. I definitely did use Joe Gomez. And there's James. So I think I had it something like that, didn't I, to begin with?
Yeah.
And listen, you might look at that and go, well, you're rotating players, and isn't that the same as just bringing in youth players and stuff like that? It is to a point, but this is a guy who's probably got 50 Premier League appearances under his belt. This is a guy who's probably got 7,000 Premier League appearances under his belt. This is a guy who's a 50 million signing who needs to get back into the team. We know all about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain here. So I think you could suggest maybe that I'm taking it easy on Genk. I don't think it is. I think the message all season long for Liverpool and from Jurgen is we're going to use our squad, we're going to need our squad. We haven't got 11 first teamers and 7 players to round out the squad. We've got a first team squad and each of them can come in and do a job. This isn't a poor side. These are experienced players who've won stuff, who've been brilliant. We know all about Naby at Leipzig. We know we've seen flashes of it in a red shirt as well, and we know what Ox can do. I think this is the time to go to the squad and go, if you want to play for a place in this first team, you want to be challenging at the top of the table with us week in, week out, then go out there, beat Genk and prove that you deserve to wear the shirt, prove your fitness, get your fitness up and utilise some of your squad. That's the message that I think Jurgen has to go into this game with. So there we go. That's my starting 11 prediction. I've enjoyed doing this live. It's been a long time since I've done one of these live. We'll try and do this each and every week now if you are enjoying it as well. If you are enjoying it and you want it live every week, smash a like. If we get 2,000, we'll do it live every single week. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for the super chats if you've given us one of them. And we'll see you next time, hopefully at the live show in Liverpool tomorrow night.